If I'm being honest, I started Rich Social Worker from a place of financial lack. I was reeling from my own financial mishaps and reading everything I could get my hands on just to figure out how to frankly get rich. If you're here, you're probably a social worker or helping professional trying to figure out the same thing. And so far on this channel, we've been talking about leveraging the awesome skills that you have so that you can make more money and have a bigger impact. So all of the interviews, the talking heads, everything has been geared towards helping you improve your money mindset and actions to build a rich life that I truly believe is possible for you and that you absolutely deserve. And can I just say that one of my favorite things is to hear back from so many of you who've said that this channel has inspired you and you've been able to use a lot of the tools that I've shared to do exactly that, to make more money and to have more of an impact. So I am so grateful to each and every one of you who come back and share that with me. So thank you. But lately, I've realized that I missed the mark. And all this time I've been speaking as if this channel was about money and about knowing your value. But in the last 3 years that I've effectively been away from publishing consistently, I've evolved, and I'm guessing so have you. So now I see that it's not really about either of those things. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Eva Ford, and I work with brilliant social work, social impact, and business professionals to align their income with their impact in meaningful ways. And on this channel, while I'm evolving what I talk about, it'll still intersect with money, mindset, and motivation to help you live your richest life. But as I've come back to this channel, I want to have honest conversations, not just about money, not just about value, but about worth, because that's what it's about. And it's really easy to get caught up into the money. We chase tactics like salary hacks and side hustles and business models, and we obsess over how to price things. And don't get me wrong, those definitely have their place, but we're often building all of that on a shaky foundation without the foundation of worth. So here's how I'm seeing it now. Worth is intrinsic. It's who you are. It doesn't change. You have it because you exist, and it and you are priceless. Value is how your worth expresses itself as contribution. It's your skills, your insight, your empathy, your listening, your leadership, your creativity. It can be partially measured, but never fully captured. Now, money is compensation, and that's what people pay in exchange for some of that value. And it's always smaller than your total value and has nothing to do with your intrinsic worth. So if you've ever thought, oh, I just need to make more, then I'll be able to finally relax. Or if I could just get that raise or have that title, I'd feel successful. Or if I landed that opportunity, then I'd be a rich social worker. I get it. We've been taught that when our numbers go up, our worth goes up. But that's because our systems confuse compensation with value and they ignore worth altogether. So what I've been learning more and more is this. Money really is a side effect. It's a consequence of how we understand and embody our worth. So here's what I want you to really get. No one can actually pay you what you're worth. No one can afford you, baby. No one. You're priceless. Your empathy, your strategic thinking, your years of learning, your leadership, your resilience, your ability to sit in crisis and still care. Think of your trauma training, your counseling, your advocacy, your complex case management, your policy work, your macro impact, the emotional labor that you pour into everything you do. No one can pay you what that is worth. We are priceless, full stop. So our paychecks, our salaries, our contracts, those are simply agreements. They're what we agree to exchange for a portion of our value in this season. They are not a verdict on our worth, and they are not a full reflection of our value. Beyond your degrees and your titles, your worth is intrinsic. It's who you are. And the way it's come through for me is through different types of work, spiritual work, inner child work, meditation, journaling. Once I considered who I would be without the stories of feeling silenced or dismissed or like I was a problem or I didn't matter as much as someone else, once I removed those stories from my experience, I could see myself as light and bright and joyful without shame and unapologetically. It was a huge breakthrough for me because I realized I don't have to prove anything because I'm priceless. I'm literally worth more than any amount of money that exists. So no one can ever really pay me what I'm worth. What I can do is show up fully embodied in who I am and the worth I bring to the table. It's not about pretending money doesn't matter. I will never say that. I will never say that. It's about knowing my worth ain't on the table. That realization alone has changed how I'm showing up profoundly. And I know that the more people that get this concept too, the stronger impression it will have on how each of us shows up individually in our lives and on the profession as a whole. So no more conflating money with what you're worth ever again. That means no more hiding from your debt or avoiding your financial education. No more lowballing on your offers. And for the love of all that's good, no more negotiating for the least amount they say they can pay you. Hear me when I say this. Those take what you can get offers, they ain't got nothing to do with you. That's the system we're in. And you can say no to that. We operate in structures that undervalue our worth and then tell us that's just how it is. So we hustle from lack, we chase validation out there, and we call it normal instead of anchoring it in the truth of who we are in here. So that's what I'm practicing now. And I'm calling this the inner work of wealth. And I'm actively practicing, experiencing, feeling, knowing, believing that I am worthy and that my worth has no price. And I'm doing this on a daily, hourly, sometimes minute by minute basis. And while I've been doing versions of this for years, I don't know that I've ever really locked into it the way that I am now. And let me tell you, it's not always easy because I'm really rewiring those messages that are locked in my subconscious. So sometimes it looks like talking to myself in the mirror and telling myself how proud I am of what I've created. Sometimes I've got to take a dance break and shake off the old habits. Sometimes it's revisiting my vision for what I'm creating in my life and feeling it real now. Sometimes I'm just sitting in gratitude for the life that I have and what I'm creating that's truly priceless. More than a few times, it's looked like forgiving myself for time I feel like I've wasted on an entrepreneurial journey. And often it looks like dropping the stories that don't support my undiluted belief in my worth and what I'm calling in financially. All of that for me is part of the inner work that's helping me get more comfortable with and build greater wealth. So I'm overriding that programming in my subconscious that's kept me at a certain financial level for as long as it has. Now, I'm not saying I'm where I am when I started Rich Social Worker, far from that, but we are building a multi-million-dollar business over here. So now I'm doing things like keeping my word to myself and doing what I said I was going to do, regardless of who's watching, and creating alignment instead of pushing myself in ways that don't feel good or sustainable. And I'm making it a game and not taking myself too seriously. And just so we're clear, this is ongoing work. It's the work of a lifetime. And I want to call you into this inner work with me. So if you're game, I invite you to get still and ask yourself, who would I be if I truly believed in my worth? And how would I show up differently? Imagine a whole community of helpers, social workers, counselors, social impact professionals who really got this message and who leaned in from a place of worth and then built wealth from that place. That's the work I'm committed to now, and I hope you'll join me on this journey. So if before on this channel, the question was, how do we make more? Now the question is, who do we get to be to hold and steward more? We're still going to be talking about money. I'll still be taking your questions. We'll still be talking about income opportunities and mindset, but we're going deeper. Just like in the beginning when I started this channel, these are the things I've been learning and I'm ready to share them with you now. Now, if any of this resonates, I invite you to make sure you're subscribed to the mailing list. Your notifications are turned on for this channel so that you know every time I upload a new video, and send this to at least one friend who needs a boost in their wealth journey today. As always, I believe you can dream, be, do, or have anything you want, but it starts with your mindset, so make sure it's a rich one.